Hello, everybody out there in podcast land. How's everybody doing today? I am your host, Miss Larcy Howard-McGowan, and this is On the Day I Said I Do, episode number 4, and I am super excited because I am joined with Mrs. Tiara Christopher.
Woo! I'm so excited too. I'm like, oh my God, what do I say? What do I say? Oh, I'm excited. Hey, y'all.
Yes, and I have known her from, since high school, actually.
Yes.
And so that's what... Ooh,
right, we grown women now.
Yeah,
I'm a grown woman.
That's a long time. So
it's been a minute.
I think that you guys will benefit from hearing her story today. And I think it's so unique. I think all marriages are unique. And so I think that she's a great mom. I think she's a great wife.
Bless you. Oh my God.
And teacher. Ironically, she's a teacher too.
Holly.
So so you want to tell the people what's up?
Hey guys, what's going on? It is Tiara Christopher. I am so excited, blessed, honored. Come on, I feel like a celebrity. Oh my goodness, right?
Well, she's a phenomenal woman, and more so than a phenomenal woman of God. And I just thought that she'd be great to have on this show.
I love Jesus. I do.
Okay, it's nothing greater. So let's go ahead and jump right into segment 1. Segment 1 is called Jumping the Broom. Yes, so this is part where you talk about what happened on the day that you said I do. We're going to dive right into these questions because I'm just interested to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, my story is so different, and as it relates to the courtship, to we making it to that actual day we said we in this, to the corpse.
Oh my God, don't spill the beans. Please don't spill the beans. Please tell me what happened the morning of your wedding. Was it like you got cooked breakfast? Was it any like a normal day? What happened on the morning of your wedding?
It was so peaceful. I actually spent the night with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. She was actually here from Connecticut.
Okay.
I spent the night with them, and I had the best sleep ever that night. The best sleep.
I love it.
And then when they actually came in there, I had woke up already. I had so many text messages from my sisters in Christ. I call them sick. You'll catch that. And they were texting me early, and I was just like, you just lay back and smile. And then they walked in there, and I was like, today's a big day. I was like, I know. And we literally chilled the whole day. I've had everything laid out, and I know everyone's like, well, where were your bridesmaids and all this? We didn't have any of that. We actually went to the courthouse.
Okay.
And we got married at the courthouse.
Okay. So tell me, how were you feeling that day? Like, what was going on in your stomach? What was going on in your heart, your mind?
I kept saying, oh my goodness, you're about to be a whole wife in these streets.
Okay.
Like a whole wife. Like you're about to be his rib, his backbone, his cooker, his lover, his heel. Like you're gonna play a lot of roles. You're gonna wear a lot of hats. And all I kept thinking, like, oh my God, I'm about to be a wife. I'm about to be a wife. And I was like, God, you created me for this moment.
Wow.
And I'm not trying to sound deep, but I was like, wow, Lord, like this is the moment you created me for. Like, wow. Not to say the end all be all within marriage, but for that particular, like, this is my assignment.
You knew that's what you wanted to be.
Yes. That was my heart's desire. Absolutely.
I love it.
Love it. And that day I just was like, wow, like, I had a peace though that didn't make sense to anyone. When I tell you I was so calm,
I was like, what in the world?
And I'm super spastic when I'm getting ready for other things. But this particular day, I really believe, like, I just had the peace of the Lord. Like, how was I as calm as I was, as smooth? Like, I was like, I can't wait to see him.
You knew it.
Yeah, because I knew. And I was like, Lord, I knew you orchestrated this.
Yes.
Because I know what it's like for me to orchestrate other things.
Okay.
So
tell me this. What did you wear? Because I've seen the pictures when you posted them, so I was super happy. But tell the people what you wear.
God, I didn't get anything couture. I didn't get anything made, hand stitched. No.
Okay.
I actually went to one of my favorite stores, which is Express.
Okay.
And I got this blouse from Express and a belt from Express. Mm-hmm. And then I got me a white pencil skirt. It's bodycon, so it was a little fitted from a New York and Company.
Some curves off.
And I had this good old sewing. I mean, edges was laid at that time. Yeah. And I actually curled my own hair. I curled my own hair. Wasn't it? I said, Lord, you anointed this curling iron and this wax and everything, like these edges down. And then my mom's friend did my makeup, and she said, how you feel? And she just kept asking me, and I was like, I truly feel good. Like, I can't, you can't believe it, but you can believe it. Mm-hmm. You know what's happening, and you just start counting down. It's like, In a few hours, I'm going to say I do.
Oh,
and we had about 20 people with us that day. 20 people.
I love it. Now, what did he wear?
He wore some denim. He wore like a pair of dark denim with some nice hard bottom shoes. And he wore a shirt. It's like a collarless shirt. He had from one of the lengthy ones. You know the little popular ones. White. Crisp white.
So
we did black and white.
We did too.
We did a black and white theme. And he had a really nice vest from ASOS. His hair was amazing. Like, we just looked nice.
Yeah.
We looked so good. I felt good. And I was like, oh my God. And we didn't cut corners with the photographer. We did have a photographer there to take pictures and capture that moment. But it was so intimate, and the people were there with the people that needed to be there.
Perfect. So how long have y'all been married as of today?
We're coming up on 3 years, August 7th. 8715. I'm sorry, that's 8715. That is 3 years. Yes, coming up. Yes,
I love it. Okay, so tell me this. This is all about, I know you said that day you had about 20 people there. Who were included in those people?
I am from Lumberton, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all don't know what that is.
Shout out to Lumberton.
Right. If you heard of Fayetteville, I'm about 20 minutes away from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay.
So I had some family members come from Fayetteville, North Carolina. My father was there. My stepdad and my biological father died. That was so beautiful. My mother and my little sissy Stevie. She hates when I say that. And then my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. One of my other sisters-in-law was like working in Arkansas at that time. So she just couldn't make it. Okay. And then some of our brothers and sisters in Christ, very intimate. My little cousins and the cousins that came from Lumberton. But when I say it was intimate, like, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll literally see that picture, and it's just them in the background. He's about 20, maybe 21, give or take. But yep.
And where was this at? Did y'all do this in Charlotte?
We went to Charlotte at the courthouse, the same one you go to get your tickets and stuff taken care of. Shut up.
Yeah, we went to the courthouse. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to dinner. We went to Bill Antonio's. I think I'm saying the name right. Oh, God. It's in Valentine.
Okay.
It was really nice. We ate dinner.
Nice.
And it was just fancy. And then we went on a honeymoon for a week.
Mean, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
I love it.
We saved all those coins.
Okay.
Yes.
All of our coins.
But we will have a wedding, though. We will actually have a wedding on our 5-year wedding anniversary. But it was beautiful. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Yes.
All right. Well, let's jump right into segment 2 called Tying the Knot. And this is everything that happened before you got married. So tell us this. Before you got married, what was your idea or your perception about marriage? Based off of your family dynamic.
Perfect.
Tell me
that's exactly where I was about to go. I didn't have a great example, a visual or a tangible example for me to say, love my mom to pieces. However, she didn't marry my biological father.
Okay.
And I grew up with a stepfather. And then that dynamic wasn't the best either. So then the only visual that I had was my best friend La'Ansby, and her parents were together forever. And when I would go to their home, I see that her dad always drove the car, or he always was like, you know what, when we get home, we're going to go over the finances. He just was the ideal. That was the only version I've had. But granted, those are your friends, so you're not going to see them on an everyday basis, every other weekend, give or take. And I was like, I didn't know what a true marriage looked like, but I knew in my heart what I had wanted. At least I thought I did. At least because we have our own perception of what we think marriage should be. So I won't say like, wow, poor me, or woe is me. It's like, now I get to create what I really wanted with the help of the Lord. Like, Lord, help me make this what you want it to be. But it's a beautiful thing now to say, I didn't know what it's like, but we are growing and learning every single day what it looks like to be married, and what that real word means, as in submit and compromise, when to speak, when not to speak. Okay. But to be honest, I didn't really have one. I did not have a perfect example, not even perfect, just an ideal, tangible, let me touch you, let me ask questions, an example.
And nobody in your family?
No. Okay. No, everyone were dating for a long time, but no one had a solid core marriage. And I was like, my family probably needed to see this. Like, you can't get married to your children's father, or you can get married without even having a kid with them. Like, you can do that.
Yep.
It can happen.
And see, this is why I think these stories are so important, because you get into marriages and you don't know what people's perceptions are about marriage until you hear the story.
Because you do hear people say, I'm not getting married. Because they always related back to things that they saw. And I was like, wow, but there's going to be someone that the Lord puts in your path that would create a better perception perspective for you.
And then too, now you're thinking about, you're like, wow, I didn't even know that I admired their relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because not having it is not having that example early on is very, very hard. Okay, so tell me this. I love that answer. Tell me, before you got married, did you think you were ready to be a wife? Did you want to be a wife, and say, well, I want to be a wife, but I'm not necessarily ready? Or did you think you were ready?
Let me be real raw with y'all. Because Larcy knows me from high school, so she know I actually had a high school sweetheart that was on and off from the time. Right. I was head over heels for this somebody. And I just knew that in my mind, that's what my definition of greater was for me. Wow. In my mind. Now I say my mind, my puny level of thinking, right? This is what I thought good was. Let us have matching J's. Let us take pictures and someone look at us and like our pictures. Let us come at the cookout and everybody looking at us. That's weak. But anyway, I knew I wanted to be married. Mm-hmm. And I did think that the person I was with from high school on and up until even college was going to be my husband. And to be honest, I actually was proposed to. So it went from saying my boyfriend, to that's my fiance. And it did not work out. Okay. It did not work out. And I tell you one thing, I was so brokenhearted. And I left everything. I left the relationship. I left the place. I left the car. I left everything behind. And when I tell you I started out fresh and graduating from college, I'm close to a year from post-grad, and you're thinking like, my life is supposed to look so different. Right. And then you get in a place where you start comparing your life to via Instagram and all these other social media platforms, and their highlight reels. Notice I stress that. They're highlight reels. So again, yes, I wanted to be married. Mm-hmm. Did I think I was going to be married sooner? I did, to my high school sweetheart at the time, and it just so happened it wasn't. And I'm glad that wasn't in God's plans for my life. I love it. No, not to discredit that person, but that wasn't His plans for me. Right, He had something better for you. Hallelujah. Okay, so tell me this: what is the best marriage advice that you got before you got married? You know what? And I thought it was going to be something deep. I don't know what it is about the nail place, but whenever I go to the nail place, I always see therapy. It is. It's definitely therapy. That is it. It's therapy. I'm always crossing paths with someone that we end up talking. It starts with what color nails you got. Mm-hmm. Girl, what color nail you get over there? And then they're seeing something inside. Like, I see something. They have a conversation. But I asked one lady, because we actually have a thing whenever my husband and I are in different places or even together, and we find out you've been married for longer than us, and it can be 6 years. It's longer than us. Right. We ask, what is the key to keep your marriage to make it to this point? And the first thing I remember hearing at the nail place, laugh. She said it's like medicine to the soul. And I'm looking for some deep philosophical, feel it in my bosom, sha-na-na answer. And I'm like, laugh. I like laughing. But she said, you're going to realize how much you don't laugh in your marriage. And I want you to learn to laugh. Wow. I was like,
that's kind of deep, though, if you think about it.
That was the first thing she said, was to laugh.
Simple.
Yes. Thank you, lady at the nail place.
Shout out to her. Okay, now tell me this. Did he have to receive your mom's blessing in order to marry you?
How about this amazing man of God actually asked my mother, could he date me?
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. I said, what? And told my mother that he wanted to marry me before I even, he asked, could he date me? He told my mother he wanted to marry me. So we don't see that a lot.
No.
We're in this JoJo and them coming up to mom, dad, guardian and saying, hey, this is the one for me. I truly want to pursue her wholeheartedly and create a life for her to the end. Wow. Can I, I have your blessing? So that was so foreign to me. When I say so foreign to me, I didn't know how to receive that. I was like, he did?
Because we're in a different generation.
Girl.
You know? Yeah. So absolutely. Tell me this. Where did he propose? How and where?
How did he where? Let's make that was a little easier and shorter for me. Hilton. Okay. At the Hilton Uptown. Okay. We all started with the. You know what is good to have conversation with your significant other. Mm-hmm. We talked a whole lot. I mean, a lot. We talked so much on the phone. It was like high schoolers as a grown folk.
No, you hang up.
You hang up first. What time is it? Oh my God, I'm gonna be sleepy in the morning type of thing. But him and I had different versions of what we thought upscale restaurant was. Okay. He thought Olive Garden was a nice spot, and there's nothing wrong. And I would never discredit Olive Garden.
Don't play your boo.
But I want to be able to get a reservation and have to dress up.
Yeah.
I want to. Right. And so I'm like, I was thinking more Chimas. I was thinking more Flemings, Mortons. Yeah. And I'm like, And he was like, well, I was like, nothing's wrong with Olive Garden. You know, maybe Mickey Mooch, maybe, but I'm cool with Olive Garden TGI Fridays. And I was like, oh God, oh Lord. And we kind of laughed about it. But so one particular day he had called. I was like, hey, let's do dinner. And I'm like, and it's nothing foreign because we've had dinner many times. But when he said, I was like, okay. He said, yeah, but we're going to do dinner. Well, you got to make reservations. I said, oh, snap now. So we kind of laughed about it. And so I was excited because this was like our first dinner where it required a reservation.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay.
And he took notes.
He remembered based on that conversation. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go to my favorite store, Express. And they had a good old nice little bodycon dress. I don't know what's up with me and bodycon.
But you had on black and white that day too.
Yes, that must be our color. Bodycon dress. Yes, and I was like, yeah, and I was telling my coworker, do you know we're gonna go? She said, you are, girl. What you gonna wear? I was like, well, I'm gonna go to Express. It was a black and white bodycon dress, and I went to Express and got it. Had a 40% off. Thanks Express. Okay. I keep promoting them. They need to give me something. Right.
This episode is brought to you by Express.
Wait a minute. Let me wait a second. I said it too many times. So I went there, and then I was like, I'm running a little late, but I'm on my way. So he came to my apartment. When I opened the door, because I had never seen him in a blazer. At the time, the church we went to, it didn't require us to dress up. Not that any church does, but certain churches have a culture or an attire. So he had on a blazer with a handkerchief in the pocket, some nice little boots. I said, okay, okay, sir. I see you, and he was like, I said, you look nice. He was like, do I? And he smiled so hard and held his lapel of his blazer, and I was like, you look really nice.
He was setting you up.
Girl, and I was like. So where we going? And he was like, 5 Church. And I was like, oh, I heard of that restaurant, but I've never been. So we was excited. He was like, and I was like, we run a little late. We gonna still make it. He said, everything should be fine. So we got to the restaurant. Sure enough, y'all, we missed the reservation. We missed it. But the thing was, I was so happy to be dressed up and out with him. I didn't even mind.
It didn't matter.
They gave us, he was like, let's just get a glass of champagne and see how long the next reservation is. Okay. And they were like, it's about 30 minutes. He was like, do you want to wait that long? And I was like, I'm okay. Yeah. I mean, and I'm literally taking selfies, people taking pictures of it. I'm just having a good old time. Idea. And so we just was like, you know what? 30 minutes. He was like, 30 minutes. You want to wait? He said, you know what? Let me look up this one other spot. And if I find it, we'll go there instead. Okay. He was like, bingo. I found it. Girl, he was playing me. I didn't find nothing, but I wouldn't have known. I'm really thinking that he's looking on his phone. He said, let's go walk he said, literally, it's just the next block over. And I was like, cool. So we're walking. More so, it wasn't just the next block. And I had on heels. And I was like, oh, Lord. How much further? He's like, no, it's coming up right here. We're going to take a shortcut. I'm like, oh, good. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, can we take a picture right there? And there was so many people around. I was like, they can take our picture. Mm-hmm. He was like, I know a better place where you could take one. And they have like this really cool waterfall. And I was like, cool. So we're walking. And I'm not thinking, I'm in my mind like, tonight's a beautiful night. I'm with my man. We're going to get something to eat. Mm-hmm. We're really going to enjoy each other's company. Like, this is amazing. So it was like, further away in our distance, it was like someone, he was like, there's somebody standing outside. I was like, I don't know, maybe they praying. I don't know why I think somebody outside praying, Lord. Why? I was like, I don't know, maybe they over there praying. They could have been eating, walking the dog. I don't know what the time when they're praying. We walk up and we're literally in front of the Hilton uptown. Mm-hmm. So there's like these columns that's on the left and the right. So he's like, let's cut through there to get to our destination. Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot about uptown. So I'm thinking this is the spot. We're walking through. But to my left and my right is all my sick, and to my left is all my family. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, right then, the fact that they were there, I was like, why would they be? Immediately, I was like, oh my God. My mom was like, breathe. I couldn't even, I was like, oh my, I held my chest, like, you know, your chest goes in and out. I was like, oh my God. And all of my sick were to the right of me, and all of my family was. And when I seen my cousin from Lumberton, I was like, something's up. And when he stood with so much confidence, with his hands in front of him, and he just looked at me, I was like, I can't. Lord, I'm weak, and he had to drop my purse.
I ain't worthy, Lord.
And before he gave his spiel, one of the sweetest things that could have ever happened, my father walked from behind one of the columns I didn't see and handed him the ring. And he knew that meant so much to me because we were in the process of restoring our relationship because my biological father wasn't in my life until my senior year of college.
Oh, wow.
So we were literally fresh in this.
Yeah.
And he was like, how do you feel that your dad's now in your life? And how would you, like, we asked questions. Like, we asked, like, what do you feel like if he would, if you know, and we talked, if we ever got married, or would you want him there? And I was like, yeah, I would actually want him there if I was proposed to. And he took a mental note.
Y'all hear that? Men, listeners, take note.
Yes. Talk. You have to communicate. Share those things. Like, share. And it wasn't even foreign to me. One day we was on the phone random. He was like, hey, what size ring do you wear? Gulp? What?
Right.
7? Why? I just want to know. Change the subject. Didn't even come back to it. But in that moment, I was floored. I said, Lord, I thank you. Because, and the reason why I went so much because of not only my father, because my sick was there, my sisters in Christ, they were literally with me from the time I was engaged to out of my engagement.
They knew the whole time.
They knew the whole thing and the whole story. And I was like, oh my goodness. Y'all the real MVPs over here.
So wait a minute. Where did you meet this little awesome man?
I met him at church. I met him at church. I know people like, well, I'm go to church and meet your man. That was the last place, honey, that I thought I would ever meet anyone that I would spend the rest of my life with. We all at that time went to can I say the name of the church? Yeah, we went to Elevation Church, and I had just started going, and I had just got a Bible study, so I was really just trying to get involved. And I highly recommend, in order for you to make a big church small, you get involved, so you start knowing all these people that you think are so far from you. No, there's John, there's Joey over there,
right?
And so we went to the same church, and he was actually the leader over the area that I served in.
Okay.
And he worked so much at the airport that particular Sunday they was like, oh, your leader's name is Michael. He works at the airport. He's not here today, but he goes above and beyond. Like, you heard so many great things about him before I even seen who the dude was.
Wow.
And so I served under him. He was my leader at church. Didn't know he was going to be my leader in life. Right, at home. It was a very cool story.
I love it.
Do you know he told me that he'll never marry anybody like me though?
I mean, I'm sure he
was like, I'll never marry anybody like. I mean, I was neck rolling, popping, and he was
also, he said you were never something of his type.
Right? He was like, I'll never marry anybody like you. Don't nobody care. That's what my response was. I walked away. My feelings was, I was like, wait, what? I'm popping.
Wow.
And so I make him eat his words. So every anniversary, I'm like, remember you was lying. You'll never marry nobody like me. Yeah, but
but you know, I mean, it's something about that. You know, he couldn't get enough of that.
He couldn't. You're welcome.
You need somebody that's quick on their toes to keep it going.
Right. Oh my God. He was like, yeah, you crazy. I said, you like crazy. He was like, I like crazy.
Okay, because he might be a little crazy too. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into segment 3. Which is called Popping the Question. And there is no question that is off limit in this segment. So, let's see. What is the most difficult thing you think that you've had to give up in your marriage? Dun, dun, dun.
Right, that's a good question. I've actually given up you don't realize how selfish you are. Mm-hmm. My situation is very unique. I came to the marriage without children. Okay. My husband did not.
Okay.
And so I have made it very clear to the Lord, to anybody I was around, I ain't been with nobody. Let me fix on my broken grammar. But at the time, my broken grammar was on point. I ain't gonna be with nobody with no kids. Lord, don't send me one. Friends don't recommend nobody. First thing I'm asking, he got kids. First thing I'm saying, and I'm ready. And it's funny when you say what you're not going to do versus what the Lord's plans for your life is. And I did not, what I gave, like I became more selfless in areas I did not know I was selfish in.
Okay.
I share, I give. No, you're going to have to nip some things. That, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it to that outing. My husband's sick and I'm going to have to tend to this.
Right.
So you give a lot of time. You don't realize who you truly are. This is so interesting, the fact that when you get into a marriage, you begin to really find out more things about yourself because it's a mirror.
Yep.
Your marriage is a mirror.
Oh,
you look at your spouse and they're able to pull out things in you, sometimes not just for the best. They pull out things that you didn't want to be pulled out. There's weaknesses there. There's things that have been hidden there. Yep. There's broken pieces that still hasn't been ministered to yet. There's parts of you that you didn't even want your spouse to know. I'm good if no one knows that. No, it's going to be outed. You will be outed in your marriage. If you ever think you're not going to be exposed in your marriage, you got another thing coming.
And
your marriage is your mirror. You think you do
until that mirror shows back,
and you're like, "Ooh, I'm selfish. Ooh, I don't like doing this. Ooh, I got a potty mouth. Ooh, I don't do." Yes.
Yep.
You're like, "I'm not ready. I don't want to see this." And then you ready to run. I don't want to do this.
I love that answer. I think it's beautiful to be able to say that you were able to see yourself.
I'm not all cracked at I'm not all cracked at what I thought I was.
Girl.
Yeah.
You better speak.
I'm not. It's okay. I've been humbled. Your marriage will humble you.
Okay, fill in the blank. My husband is my
rock.
He is my rock. Go by the die.
Hey, I wish I knew the words.
I don't know
my rock.
I love it. Okay, so listen. Tell me this. In your opinion, why do you think sex is so important in a marriage?
Because you are connecting souls. You are. It's a transfer. That's why it's so imperative not to do it with just any and everybody. That's a great story. I would love. Ooh, y'all. I want to say as much as I love the Lord.
That's a book, y'all. Won't got that long. But we can go into that.
I would love to tell you I did all this right, and I didn't.
Right.
But the reason why is because it's a connection like no other.
Okay.
It's something that you can only share with your spouse.
I love it.
It's a connection like no other.
Why do you think it's important to not go for a long period of time without it?
One, because you have to keep in mind, yeah, we love the Lord, but we're still fleshly beings.
Yes.
You're still fleshly beings, and it's an agreement. Like it's like one accord. And when you're not on one accord, that means there's something that came as a divide, and you're using it as a weapon. Oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to hold this out. Don't do that to your spouse. Don't do that to your spouse.
Right.
Communicate with your spouse.
And men are built differently.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Because when one time you reject him, he feels that rejection, and he continues to feel that rejection.
Right.
And Susie Homemaker that was walking by just was haying by us now like, oh, I didn't know her. I didn't know she looked that nice in that blouse.
You got that right.
Right. No matter how much he loves me and the Lord, we have eyes. Heck, I do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's very important not to withhold on both ends.
Definitely. Let's see. Tell us if you have one, what's your favorite married celebrity couple, and why? I have little pieces of certain couples I like, and I'm not going to even consider them to be celebrities. That's fine.
But I do like Megan Good and Devon Franklin.
I love them.
So do I. And I do like the Lindsays, Heather Lindsay and Cornelius Lindsay.
Yes.
Torrey and Sarah Jakes.
Yes.
Those are just people in ministry that I just love their marriage. I love how they do life. I love how they honor one another. It's probably more, but at the top of my head, I would say them.
That's perfect. Do you believe in the term soulmate? Yes or no, and why?
Soulmate. I think that someone can become your soulmate because everyone's not going to have every component. Your spouse, no matter how much you love them, how much they meet this need, they're not going to always be able to fulfill that area in your life. I think someone becomes your soulmate.
Wow. I love that. Why do you think that self-love is important in a marriage or a relationship in general?
Because if not, you'll seek for validation in that person all the time. You'll seek for identity in that person. If you don't know who you are or whom God made you to be, then you're going to always be searching for a God-sized deficiency. That's a God-sized deficiency. Love you. Be so whole in yourself because your half can't bring nothing to his whole, because you're going to always be looking for him to fill in the area that's not what he's called to do. He's a flawed individual just as you are.
I love how Will Smith was talking about that. And of course, I don't know what their theology
about happy,
is.
Right? Yeah,
yes.
I know.
But he said, "I retired from trying to make Jada happy because he realized
it's not his responsibility.
It's not. It's too much responsibility. It really is.
That's too much for someone to carry.
It is, especially when you have a God that's like so perfect and can figure it all
out.
Don't
put that on them.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why they all frustrated and mad at you because they're trying to carry their weight, your weight, and everything else.
Hobbies.
I'm with it. Get you a hobby.
Okay, tell me this: are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert?
Oh God, I'm an extrovert.
For sure.
I'm such an extrovert.
Yeah.
But then again, sometimes I'm the person that want to be invited, but then don't want to leave my house.
And then what's your husband?
Oh God, he's such an introvert. He's such an introvert. But could you be an introvert with a little extrovert tendency? When I say he's a little, maybe like a 20% extrovert, 80% introvert. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This is a hard one.
Love you, babe.
How do you feel about women proposing to this little era with these
negative before you can get it out? No, that's not. I'm order. I'm all about order.
So they proposing to these men nowadays. Tell me what your mindset is on that.
Foolishness. You are his favor. You are his favor. You are his gift. You are his rib.
He's supposed to find you.
Right. And granted, maybe he did find you. You probably weren't within the right circumstances, but you're rushing God's timeline for your life.
Wow.
What you rushing for? And if he didn't see something within you within that first year to say, you know what, she got these type of qualities that I can see long term, then he's probably not going to propose. Don't push it. Don't rush it. I ain't for it. Okay. Negative.
Now tell me this.
I'm that black emoji with the X sign.
What kind of forever?
Right.
Okay, tell me this. So have y'all ever gone through anything that has like super difficult that has allowed y'all to come together? I know a lot of couples go through like financial loss or infertility or anything of that matter. Do you feel that y'all have gone through anything that has you believe was a good thing and made you closer, even though it was really hard during the time?
You know what? I actually used to value the voice of certain women in my Bible study.
Okay.
And I valued their voice so much that I think that I was drowning out the voice of God. Okay. I was trusting the God in them versus the omnipotent God, right? Yeah. So when I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this. And then they're like, well, yeah, maybe you shouldn't. And I have to begin to value their voice so much that it hindered me from pursuing my relationship with my husband early on. Mm-hmm. And they would begin to ask me questions. And I hate to make it sound like this. Back in Genesis, when the serpent said, did God really say? And then you begin to plant a seed and you begin to doubt. Certain individuals to begin to plant seeds, and I'm like, begin to doubt, is this what God has for me? Wow. Because based on what you want in a marriage, I shouldn't. That's not my genetic makeup. I don't want the same thing you want. But then I'm like, do I? So when she had planted that seed, I'm like, wow. So overcoming that. Okay. So when now this marriage, this is our marriage. Right. When I tell you we're thick as thieves, can't nothing come in between this. Not any outside voice. Even any voice that I thought should have been close. My whole prayer is like, Lord, if this person is not for me and my marriage, right, then they can't be in this vicinity, in this circle. Right. Show me. And if it has to get ugly for me to see it, then thank you for showing me.
Right. And it's crazy because the last episode, if you guys remember, we talked about Fawn Weaver in the book Happy Wives Club, and she was talking about how the lady that she interviewed said, if you want to be happy, get around some happily married women.
Yes.
And if they are willing to sit up and talk about your man in front of you, she said that she would no longer hang out with those women because they were willing to talk about her husband in front of her.
Absolutely.
And she was like, no, that's my other half.
Right.
And so
absolutely,
it makes so much sense.
You got to be able to trust who you can share your testimony, your ups, your downs with of your marriage. But speaking of I'm not claiming this at all, but my husband and I are definitely trying to have a child. Like we have a 10-year-old son. He's getting older. He definitely wants another sibling. Yeah. And we're like, Lord, make it happen. Bless this womb. Come on now, Lord. Okay. Bless this womb.
Okay. Well, and he's going to do it.
Yes,
I love
Lord.
it.
Come on, I receive it.
Okay. And that was actually my next question. So thank you for answering that. And you guys you said a son?
Yes. Shanshan. Hey, Shanshan.
Tell us about him.
Oh, you know what? It's so hilarious that him and I have so many things in common. Wow. But I can't say me being a bonus mom is easy. Right. It's not easy.
It's not.
It's a lot. When you come from the approach, I'm not dating anyone with children, but then you're like, God had another plan for you. But then you witness like, wow, I really can do this. Mm-hmm. He is such a sweet, sweet boy. Sweet. Daddy made it very clear early on. Whenever I'm not there, you're the man of the house. And randomly, he'll come up to me. Are you okay? Do you need anything?
Yeah.
Or he'll randomly come up and give me a hug. And I was like, oh my goodness, Lord. He's going to be a phenomenal husband to someone one day.
Yeah.
But I love him. When I tell you he loves school. He's so helpful.
Yeah.
He's so he's a go-getter. He has an ambitious spirit. I'm like, let's go. And he can dance, so we be hitting the folks, hitting them. And my husband's not a dancer, so he'll film us and we cut up together.
Yeah.
But we're still learning each other.
So that's my next question. So what was the process to learn how to balance different roles? Because oftentimes women go from just being just the ruler of themselves, and just their relationship with God, to then being a wife, then to being a mom, and then if you're a student and you got a teacher, all the jobs.
And I'm a student. So you're right.
What was that balance like, trying to hold all those roles at one time?
I think I was very overwhelmed. I was very overwhelmed, and I had expectations. I think another thing, it ties into this, I had such an expectation of what I want my marriage to be, that when it wasn't meeting those expectations, granted, it could have been expectations that I made in my head, and expected my husband to know what I was going on in my head, and I was like, well, it should be like this, and he should do this, and he's going to be this, and the Lord's like, that's not how this thing works. It was very overwhelming, and I can't, and granted, coming up on 3 years, sometimes some areas don't get easier. It's like you begin to endure, and you really know what it looks like to be patient, long suffering, the fruits of the Spirit, and you begin to like pray more. Your marriage, if your marriage doesn't have you die daily, meaning to bite your tongue, to speak when it's time to speak, you better not say nothing. You know you're not supposed to say nothing. I've learned one thing in my premarital counseling. She said, it's better to be right. It's not better to be right than together. What do you want to be? You want to be right? I was right, but then now he mad and y'all not together. Now y'all can't hang out on Saturday.
I like that.
So do you want to be right with your pompous self, your arrogant self, or do you want to be together? And my whole thing is, I want to be together. I'm sorry I said that. Right. I look like boo-boo the food. You know what? But you know what? I was wrong. Let's bring this back together.
Kill my pride.
Kill my pride.
Yeah.
Kill it. But my son is phenomenal. I'm still learning. He's getting older. Okay. He's 10. Oh my God. So he's liking different things, and he maybe got a little girlfriend. I don't know about that, but I'm still having to learn him. Okay. And I'm like, pray Lord, like help us build even more of a stronger bond, or help me in areas where I need to be quiet or be more helpful, or play the video games or watch the video game. Just watch it. Girl. Watch him play the video game.
Oh Lord, yes. Okay, so boom, tell me this. Top 3 most important things to you in a marriage. Top 3.
Communication.
Okay.
You have to communicate. Quality time. Set time for y'all. Y'all need y'all time.
With no kids too.
Yes. You definitely need to talk. Talking is everything. Quality time. I'm gonna say being intimate. Having sex, being intimate with your husband, that's important.
Yeah.
It's really important. It's honestly really important for a lot of men. And I don't think I realized that until one day my husband like, hey yo, you know it's been okay.
Oh, I heard about a 72-hour rule.
What?
To not go longer than 72 hours.
You know,
of course, I don't live true to that, but that's what I
don't think nobody do, because real life happens.
Yeah, and I mean, I
stressed out, sick.
I try to go a whole, long time, week. You don't want to go too long.
But you like not today, not tomorrow. No. Okay, I promise we're gonna do something real special on Thursday. Okay. I'm probably gonna Thursday's gonna be special.
I love it. Okay,
I might even take my headscarf off. I'm just.
You are done. You are terrible. Okay. Do you remember where your first kiss was?
Oh my God, no. You want to know what our first kiss was? And this is going to be so cornball to y'all. Our first kiss was literally the Hershey candy kiss. And we always say this was our first kiss. So I can't remember our first kiss where we actually touched lips, but I do think it was either at a Waffle House. Waffle House was our spot. He worked late hours. He worked at the airport. Yeah. So we didn't get to see each other a lot during the daytime. And he sometimes used to work double shift because he was a supervisor. Okay. So we didn't get to see each other a lot. So whenever he was like, hey, meet me at Waffle House. And I was like, cool, I'll meet you there. And so I want to say it either had to be a Waffle House. It had to be between Waffle House. But our first kiss was a Hershey kiss. And so Hershey Kisses doesn't mean the same for us as it would for other people. Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and jump right into segment 4, which is called Happily Ever After. And this is everything that you've come to know since you got married. Tell me, once you got married, what was the best piece of advice that you got after you got married?
I finally understood what it meant when people would say, pick your battles. Wow. Eat the fish, leave the bone. Pick your battles. Is this really that important?
And why? Why do you think they told you that?
Because it would help provide your home with a peaceful environment. You don't want to be a contentious wife. You don't want to be that wife. And I remember, I'm so paraphrasing this, but it's better for a husband to be literally living on a roof or on a rooftop outside than in the house with a wife that is nagging. And no one wants that. And I didn't think that me saying do this was be a nag, but then I'm like, when I hear it from his perspective, do you know you've asked me to do 12 things, or you've complained about 12 things? So that's 24 things before you even asked me how my day was. And I was like, oh, yes. Eat the fish, leave the bones, and pick your battles. Is it really that important?
Right.
Does it need to cost you peace in your home?
Right.
And I was like,
Yep.
You want your house to be a safe haven, your husband's place of peace, his place of rescue from the world.
Girl,
you want him to come home and come to you and like, baby, this world, but I got you. I can't wait to come home to you.
And see, that's the crazy thing is that I saw this thing that said when you leave home, you have to fight against traffic. You have to fight against other people, your
personalities.
That's it.
Attitudes.
And so the last place you should have to fight is at home.
Amen. And I'm so for that.
I love that. I think that's profound. Okay, tell me, did you have a honeymoon? And if so, where did you go?
We did. We went to Isle of Palms. It's in Charleston, pretty much. And we went to Folly Beach. We was there for a whole week.
Okay.
We truly enjoyed it. I think our first night wasn't what we thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I was so sleepy, and I had a little bit too much wine, y'all.
Okay.
A little bit too much wine. I crashed. Oh, God, I crashed. He was like, so, yeah. I thought it was going to be longer. I was like, I'm sorry.
But I heard stories of that, or they passed out the night of and didn't
or
even
the night, right? I was
so do anything.
I was so exhausted. I'm sorry we didn't have part 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry.
Now let me ask you this, because I know this is actually probably part of a popular question. But did you guys wait? Did you guys wait to have sex? Before
we did
the
not
wedding?
wait. We waited a very long time, but we did not wait. Our goal, we wanted to honestly portray God's love the whole way through. We did, and when I tell you, boundaries are so important.
Yeah.
And the reason why I love telling this story is because I don't want someone to say, well, or be so convicted or be so shameful and guilt. And because I did it. Okay, you did. But guess what? You can let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look at it like, you know what? I did. Mm-hmm. I slept with my husband. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you that we felt so bad, it was like we was praying together. He said, I can't come over your house anymore. I can't do this. Yeah. And it was like, we waited for such a long time though. Yeah. And then that first time we did, it was like, wow. But we were putting so much more condemnation on us than God would. Yeah. I know what you were going to do. Yeah. I knit you. I knew who you were. I knew you was going to make that slip up. Right. I knew you was going to feel bad about it. But I'm here to remind you, you did it. Get back up. You need to repent and you need to live for me. Right. And I don't want nobody to live in that waste place. Like, oh my God, you did. You did.
The reason why
and it happens
is because I don't think that people advocate. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can't speak for everybody, but I know some people don't advocate for it. Yeah, you might have done it, but I'm not going to promote that. You know what I mean?
And we've had friends that actually waited to their marriage day. And so we loved that. And I was like, my story's not their story. Right. But my story, our marriage story, and as it relates to having sex before marriage, is going to help that other couple that was following God and didn't do it the right way.
And your children.
Yes.
It's going to be a powerful testimony for them to teach them. Boundaries.
Absolutely. Boundaries are so important. Not just as it relates to being sexual, but create these boundaries when it comes to like, okay, well, because if I let him in a place too early and prematurely, then it may harbor things and mess up things that should have been. Maybe he was just supposed to be your homeboy. Mm-hmm. Maybe he wasn't supposed to make it to boyfriend status.
You're right.
Then later down the line, you can't invite him to nowhere because you're in a relationship and you remember you done slept with JoJo.
Well, I love
Frisky with Freddie.
I love how you worded that. I think it's so great that you definitely want to shine light on the way you did it and the way you would advocate for it.
Yeah, and we just felt so good in the beginning. It was like, oh, I love how you honor each other. I love how we do this. And it was like, oh my God, wait a minute. And he was like, you know what? There's no condemnation in Christ, and we're not going to give God human characteristics. Yeah. He didn't going to beat us up. Yeah. We know what we need to do.
Right. Yeah. I love it. Okay, so in your opinion, what are some things that you think can destroy a marriage?
When trust is lost. When trust is lost, it's very hard for you to have a conversation with your spouse. When you speak prematurely, some people don't have the I guess, aren't as vulnerable or as open. Me, I'm an open book. I share everything. Yeah. My husband's not. That's not his story. Mm-hmm. So if he trusts you and allow you in a certain way, and you speak prematurely, you say something too soon, that may withdraw him from wanting to share future things. And we've had real conversations about that. I said, why don't you share? Why did you? Well, last time you did this, and I was like, I didn't know that made you feel that way. Yeah. But then only for us to know that is we needed to talk about it. Trust is everything. Yeah. I need to be able to know that I can trust you with my heart. I can trust you with this weighty thing that I'm dealing with. Things prior to marriage, things that probably happened in my childhood. I mean, I had travesty in my childhood. I was molested, and I had to give him all of that. And I was like, this is what you getting. You getting all of this. Are you sure you're ready for this type of crazy? You sure you can take on this on? Because I don't sleep this on this side of the bed, because honestly, it still reminds me of certain things growing up as a child. And my husband honors that. Even we get at hotels, I already got your stuff over there, so you sleep on that side of the bed. It's maybe very small to some people, but there's certain things that the Lord is still healing you from. But you got to have someone that can say, you know what, through it all, I want your vomit. I'll take it. I'll take your vomit. Let's go.
That trust was one of the things that popped up as well in the Fawn Weaver book from Happy Wives Club. She said that was one of the 12 components that after interviewing multiple couples, she said that was one of the trust was one of the components that everybody had said in the interview. So it's super crazy that you brought that up.
And if you don't trust him before you get married, it's not going to be no trust dust that going to come up right after you get married. Trust him now, or her now.
When did you know you could trust him with your heart?
You know, you feel like this is the one, but the moment that really was the defining moment where I really was like, I can definitely trust this man with everything was when 2 times actually. I was so reserved. I broke up with him about 10 times, y'all. He sent flowers to my job. I broke up with him. Because I was so used to being in a relationship that didn't compliment me or honor me, that when I'm finally in a relationship that did, I didn't know how. It's horrible that we were never treated like ladies, and we thinking because he bought us a pair of shoes, or our homeboys said we look fly together, that's some type of weight. That means nothing. But when he told me, no matter how long it's going to take, he was like, I'm not waiting forever, but I am here. I'm here to show you that no matter what, you can't keep through you. No matter what curveballs you throw my way, I'm still here. And he looked me in my face and said that. My bottom lip about to start shaking. I was like, oh my God. And I felt that. And the second time was I was in a really low place, and I went to my doctor and it said I was depressed, and I was like, not I. And because we think we can't be depressed. What's wrong with us? So he had prescribed me medicine. I was like, I'm not taking no medicine. It was probably there forever. Probably still sitting there. And so he was like, what's wrong with you? And I just would not open up. And I was like, you don't understand. I'm just going through so much. And finally, he let me get off the phone. I didn't want to talk. I want to do you ever just go pilot, you go your day, work, gas, get something to eat home, or whatever it looks like. You just work home. And that's what I had doing for a few days, maybe 2, maybe 3. And he was like, oh, okay. And he got off the phone. I was like, good, I feel like talking. Next thing you know, 15, maybe 20 minutes, I had a knock at my door. And I'm like, I know it's not him, surely not. So I'm thinking, who could be at my door? My mom is a pop-up. She will pop up, but it wasn't her. And it was him. I'm like, what are you doing here? He had a book bag on his back. And I was like, what are you doing here? Like, and I wasn't happy. Like, surprised. I was like, why are you here? I had more of a chip on my shoulder. And he was like, I don't know what you're going through, but I do know that I'm here for you. And he came on there on an assignment. It wasn't like to give me no hug and woosah me. It was like he came with his oil. And he lit candles. He played worship music and he prayed. And it was so low, just all I heard was his voice. And you ever just been in a place with someone praying for you and you don't want to receive it, or whatever you're dealing with won't allow you to receive it?
You gotta push through.
He never stopped praying, y'all. Like, I don't remember. He never stopped. He came in my house. I had the why are you here attitude. I don't want you to be here. I guess I'm okay in this place. Even if I wasn't, I wanted to just stay in there. Leave me alone. Sometimes we want to wallow. We do. And I didn't want him to come there and get me out of it. I wanted to be there for whatever reason. And he prayed. When I tell you, he prayed until I felt a breakthrough. And then I was like, oh my God, thank you. And he said, no, thank God. And he was like, it ain't me. I could not believe it. It went from me saying, why God, to Lord, I trust you. Lord, I thank you. And I was like,
he had to come. God told him to come.
I said, what? Who are you? Like, dude, where you come from? Where you come from? And I just was like, that right there. I had a grateful journal in 2014. I wrote that. That was the first thing I wrote in my grateful journal was for that night that he came and prayed for me. Get you somebody who can pray for you. Pray for you. That I'm still blown away. I have to remind him, like, remember that time?
You knew you could trust him with your heart the moment you knew he could pray for you or he could wait for you.
wait for me and pray for me.
He was like, I'll wait for you. Yeah. You're worth my wait. You're worth the wait.
Hey. What's it? Genetics? Come on, genetics. We're worth the wait. Amen.
Okay. So I know you mentioned premarital counseling, and then did you guys get any afterwards?
We actually did premarital counseling in a group session, and after the group session, we probably did 1 or 2 after the just one-on-one with the actual couple. Okay. The Joneses are absolutely amazing. They're truly walking their assignment and gift. They're literally, their marriage was together for them to bless other marriages. Okay. No, but we do talk about getting counseling. We do. Okay. We so still talk about hey, maybe we need to get sometimes to help us out in certain areas.
Okay, it's just like a car. The little counseling is gas. Yeah. Right. Boom. So my question with that is, why do you think mentorship or like having a mentor in your marriage is important?
We went to two marriage retreats, and whenever we do the break-off session, I listen to other women share stories that are similar or far from similar and how they handle things. Some were young, just as young as I was, and some were double-digit older than us, but double-digit in years as far as marriage. And it just was like, wow, that's beautiful how you handle that, or that maturity level that you have. It challenged me to want to be a better wife. Wow. So whenever an intense moment came up, or I'm ready to roll my neck, I'm like, you know what? Remember what she said? You know what? Let's take this to the prayer closet. Okay. Or let's say, you know what? I'm going to wait to have this conversation. Let's wait until we're laughing about something totally different. It's like, hey, babe, remember you said that? Well, that hurt my feelings. Mm-hmm. Versus in the moment, you want to know him you want him to know how mad you are, how upset you are. And I just was like, I really do think mentorship with God, wisdom, just wisdom from other couples, or just people that have been married for a long time, or just whether it's a female, whether it's a male, just be able to speak into your marriage, speak into your life about what it's like to be a wife. We're still learning this. And there's going to be things that come up that I thought I was built for, until like, oh, I need help. I needed someone to call on. Yeah. And I do believe the Lord is amazing, but He sent people. Right. That's why we have doctors. That's why we have mentors. That's why you have other examples of married couples.
I love it. Well, I wanted to ask that because I think sometimes people have the wrong idea of what that looks like. So
I don't want people in my business. That's what people think.
But that's how I
want you in my business.
That's why you don't heal.
Get in our business. Help us out. Amen. Yes.
Okay, so
you going on the same mountain over and over.
Do you think that people should receive advice from people who are not married?
Absolutely not. Now, granted, someone could have possibly been married before, and they could have learned from all the errors in their ways and wish they were still married, and I can trust that. However, if it's not wisdom, if it's not God's wisdom and they led you to say it, if you're giving me your opinion, and then that's just that. What I think you should do, granted, you're speaking from a single place. You can't, the validity of that is like, it sounds good. Could apply it. But it's very hard for you to speak into my marriage or speak into my life about something you haven't experienced yet. But I do think the people that have been married before are no longer married, whether they're widows or there's even divorce, they learn from that. Yeah. Even if they're not married together anymore, they learned a whole lot. And they'll say, you know what? Don't say that to that man. Okay. Be careful with your husband. Granted, they're your head, but you also know you need to be able to comfort them. You also need to be like, you know what? It's okay. Woo, woo, woo. It's all right. Rub its back. Right.
So with saying that, the fact that you are married, what would you say to somebody who was about to walk down the aisle? What would be your words of advice for them to carry through the rest of their marriage? I know you got a friend that's about to get married soon.
I do. So I was just asking my bridesmaid thing today. Well, once you know that person is the one, right? Because I know some people get married and it's just a wedding and it's not. You don't feel the intimacy there, and you just like, I was just here for a production. Yeah. So once you do know that's the one, so first make sure that's the one, the person you need to be with and do life with, because this life is no joke. Yeah. Not just the ministry part of it, but you want to be able to like them on Saturday morning. We need to go to Lowe's and get some fresh paint,
or at their worst,
right? Okay. Can I do this at you at the work? Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. So once you know that person is the one, I would highly recommend getting premarital counseling. Okay. And after getting premarital counseling, I recommend still dating and pursuing each other. Okay. Don't let that die out. Yeah. Let them know that I still hear you. Let them know that I still want to be with you. Let them know, like, as hard as I went for you in the beginning, I want you want you to know that I'll still go just as hard for you when it's time for me to walk out this thing. I want to walk out this thing such as marriage. But yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I think it's amazing. So to you, sis, congrats if you getting married. To you, brother, if you getting married, make sure they the one. Make sure you do your counseling. And make sure you truly like them. God like you who you gonna be with.
Yeah. Because it's not enough to just love somebody. And
absolutely, I'm with you.
You gotta actually really like them.
Right. I like you.
Yeah. You make me laugh. You make me happy.
Communicate. Still pursue them.
Okay. So to finish the fill in the blank, marriage is
hard work, but with the right person, it's worth it.
Wow. And we're going to go out on that note.
Hey, now.
We're going to leave out on that note. That was profound. Okay, so this was fun.
I'm so honored. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for listening to us. You guys are awesome. But thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Bless me.
Okay, so tell us, somebody always got something to sell or promoting something. I know you do YouTube sometimes, or you have things that you do. What are some things that you want to tell the listeners about that you might want to navigate them to you?
Oh, cool. Well, my name is Tiara Christopher, and it's Tierra. Not like the crown. Tiara Christopher on Instagram. And so whenever I just feel led or inspired by something, I share it on social media. And then sometimes I'll just take those videos over to YouTube, and it's the same name, Tiara Christopher. But coming up, I actually have there will be a brunch on purpose. I know a lot of people are still struggling in that area. When I say still, because you thought that this is what God had called you to do. You thought this is what you were supposed to do, whether someone called you to it or not. And you find out, like, I spend all this money on school, and this is where I'm at, and this is not what it truly makes me happy. Sure. And I'm still staying up at night crying, like wondering what it is. Mm-hmm. So Brunch on Purpose is actually coming up April 21st. Okay. Jacinta Jacobs, if you guys know her, she hosts Arthur. She's a phenomenal woman. God, I love you, Jacinta. Yes, uniquely qualified. But she will be hosting. I will be facilitating that event. My best friend put this whole thing together, Terry Williams. But there's more things coming down the pipeline. My husband and I actually have a business together. It's called Co-Air. Okay. Co-Air, H-E-I-R. The name comes because we are co-heirs with Christ. Okay. And because we're co-heirs with Christ, anything that is attached to him cannot help but to succeed. We are a part of his lineage, his DNA. Yeah. So anytime you need family reunion shirts, bachelorette party shirts, weddings, anything new venture that you're starting on, banners, we would love to support that. Okay. Co-Air Prints. He also has a social media. I'm supporting I love you, babe. Co-Air Prince. Him and his friend actually started together, and then I'm the assistant of it. We won, so that's my business too.
Well, I will definitely be in contact with you, Michael. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely,
yes, sir.
absolutely.
I will be contacting you guys, and we're going to actually list this below the link, so you guys can actually look into all of the brunch as well as the company. Absolutely.
One last thing I do. How could I forget? Forever Precious. I'm 1/3 of the organization Forever Precious. We've been going for 2 years strong. Every Monday at 6:30, we actually pray. We intercede from whomever. So whether you're sending them DM through my Instagram or Facebook, or whether you just happen to see it, if you're on any social media platform, you see it, we would love to pray for you. Even if it's not for you, someone that you may know, even if it's for your nerves before you walk into work, we will pray for you, and we'll love to build and continue a relationship. Our first event was about a month ago. Mm-hmm. It went so well. We'll do 4 a year. Okay. But yeah, Forever Precious, Tiara Christopher, Co-Air Prince, look us up.
Okay, yeah, and also I've tuned into Forever Precious prayer call.
Yes.
You don't even have to announce yourself. You can just hang in and be blessed by that.
Mute your phone and still get ready for work.
Yes. So we're going to definitely list all that below. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been an amazing interview.
This blessed me. Oh my God.
I thank y'all so much once again for tuning in. You can catch us each and every other Monday on the day I said I do at gmail.com. If you think you know people that want to be a guest on the show, we just want to continue to collect these stories and talk about how God is just moving in relationships and what he's doing amongst the people. And ultimately, I want to learn so much more. We've only been married going on 6 years, so I just think that it's really great to collect these types of stories, and especially one like this. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I just got on Twitter.
Hey, you own it, but you own it though.
So yeah. And as always, we love you guys. You rock, and take care.
Peace.
Your love has captured me. Over and over again, I try to tell myself